And welcome, my friends. Welcome to the Krieg Dominion. I'm Olaf Krieg. Omar is my nephew. He's not here right now. He's still being a child somewhere in the inner sphere. What we have now is a Triple Press exclusive doubleheader live event for the 8th week of the 30-25 season. We've got first up the Sian Spirits hosting the Ramoran Opposition. We'll be doing that here in just a moment. And following this match, we will have the other final match remaining for the 8th week of the 30-25 season. That will be the American Industrialists taking on the Taurian Nationals. Both these games, of course, are NPC matches, which is why they're being streamed live and they're being recorded so they can be thrown onto YouTube, obviously as separate matches, one match per video. With all that said, let's get into it. Give me just a quick second here so I can finish getting everything set up the way I want it, to include, of course, having my phone do the thing that I have it do. Let's see. All right. So I've already added 1 experience point to every pilot in tech. Actually, I think there was one I wasn't supposed to. One of them was on the injured list. Yeah, Anonymous. Unfortunately, he's going to lose that free experience point that I just gave him. He's currently injured for a little while longer, for the rest of week 8 and week 9, but at the beginning of the weeks, the preliminaries week, he'll be fine. We've got some midweek events to resolve for these two teams. Both teams are doing training. Actually, I think all 4 teams are doing training, but let's go ahead and get that 2d6 roll in. Make sure I'm not missing any other benefits for them. The Sian Spirits rolled a 9, which will give them 1 point of experience to each pilot in tech not on the injured list. So they'll get another experience point. Let me do that real quick. Then for the Ramoran Opposition, they are also doing training with a 2d6, no additional modifiers. And they rolled an 8. That will also get them 1 experience point to each pilot in tech not on the injured list. So let's go ahead and take care of them now. Not Anonymous, because he's on the injured list. Oops. Right. Both teams are faring well. We're not going to worry about gathering intelligence, as these are both God, why does the word always escape me when I need it the most? NPC teams. So we're going to go ahead and go right into match startup. I've already made a bot. I've assigned it the opposition. So I'll be playing as the Sian Spirits. I've got a Cataphract, a Thunderbolt, and a Firestarter on my team. And I'll be going up against a Warhammer, a Hunchback 4H, and a Phoenix Hawk that the bot will be controlling. I have chosen the south side of the map, which will, of course, put the opposition on the north side of the map. We are doing 21 by 21 generated. Let's go ahead and get after it. I'm worried about initiative at this point. Set up so it looks all right on the screen. It's not so bad. All right. First up, the Thunderbolt 5S, and as I recall, yep, large laser, medium lasers, LRM-15, SRM-2, and some machine guns. It's also going to be providing the majority of the punch, I think. I take that back. The Cataphract has some stuff too, and I forgot to mention, the Thunderbolt and the Cataphract have some SPAs. Cataphract with the PPC specialist and a sniper on the Thunderbolt, so that will be something to keep as well. And then I think about I'll probably have those two move together as a team. And then lastly, we have the Firestarter. The enemy doesn't have a light mech. They have 2 mediums, so I think the Firestarter is going to be probably better off sticking with his teammates. Starting round 1, looking at the initiative, I kind of got hosed here. Firestarter moving first, followed by the Cataphract, and then all of the opposition team. But my Thunderbolt will have the opportunity to place itself, hopefully ideally. And we have only about 300 point battle value advantage here for the Spirits. Both teams, of course, have not been doing well. They're both, I believe, sitting in the 3 and 4, 2 and 5 wins and losses range. I forget exactly, and I actually meant to make note of it, and I forgot to. Let's see. The opponent is pretty well spread out here, so that could be good. It could be bad. We'll see how that turns out in just a moment. Firestarter is going to use all of its movement capability. Cataphract as well. See what the enemy does. They're going to try to consolidate a little bit in the middle with a Warhammer off to the left. My Thunderbolt, I think, is going to go and try to focus him. Alright, starting off. Firestarter is not able to shoot at anything. Cataphract, only able to fire on... Well, I'll take that back. PPC. Let me see, the Cataphract has PPC special... Weapon Specialist PPC. So we're definitely shooting a PPC at the Warhammer. See if I can get that AC-10 to follow up and do some good too. Don't think I have anything else in range. Everything else is medium. Thunderbolt also going to fire on Warhammer. Get a 7 to hit with a large laser. A 6 to hit with the LRM-15. Let's see what that does. Alright, now I gotta start taking notes and paying attention a little bit here. Phoenix Hawk firing on and missing the Thunderbolt. Hunchback firing on the Cataphract, but missing. Warhammer hits the Cataphract. Looks like we got an edge roll used to relieve a through armor critical. Cataphract firing hits with both weapons on the Warhammer. And the Thunderbolt misses with a laser and only 6 out of 15 missiles hitting the Warhammer, but there is a critical hit, but it gets rerolled with edge. Warhammer and the Cataphract both needing PSRs to remain standing. And they do stay standing. Going now into round 2. Heat is not an issue. Initiative a little bit more broken up. My Cataphract moving first, followed by my Thunderbolt, and lastly my Firestarter. And we have a really close score here, 97.9 to 97.4 for remaining battle value. Only slightly favoring the Spirits at the moment. My Cataphract does have to move first. I think I want to draw the Warhammer down off of his high horse there. And I'll probably use the Firestarter to shore up the right side. We're just going to push Thunderbolt straight in. It's going to mitigate his LRM capabilities, or reduces LRM capabilities, I should say. That's okay. Hunchback is staying right where he is, which is curious. I'm going to do this. Firestarter, I need to turn 1 more hex in order to get that kick in, which will put my back to the Hunchback. I don't like that range. 7 hexes. That is medium range. Man, no, I don't think I'm going to do that here. Alright. Cataphract firing. Need a 4. Need a 5 with the AC-10. 2 over. Take shots at this Phoenix Hawk. Alright, let's see what we get here. Not good from what I see already. Cataphract taking some more hits. I've already got it marked for damage. Phoenix Hawk firing on the Firestarter. Firestarter takes damage. Let's see, an AC-10 at the Firestarter, destroying an arm. That's going to take him all the way up to heavy damage right off the bat there. Let's see. Cataphract hitting with everything on the Warhammer. No juicy crits or anything, though. Thunderbolt also firing basically not quite everything on the Warhammer. Gets a lot of good hits. No internal structure damage, unfortunately. And now the Phoenix Hawk has taken some hits. Looks like the Warhammer has fallen down due to excessive damage. There is a head hit, but it gets re-rolled with edge. Pilot seatbelt check complete and successful. So that is that. We do have a melee opportunity here. Firestarter kicking at the Phoenix Hawk. Phoenix Hawk loses armor on its leg and a heat sink, but it does manage to land its own kick. Both mechs still standing after the kick fest. Moving now into round 3, the heat phase. Got some heat building up on the opposition and only a little bit on the Cataphract. No biggie. Initiative now in my favor with 2 opposition mechs, 2 of mine, 1 of theirs, 1 of mine, and a 92 to 89% remaining battle value advantage going for the Spirits right now. Alright, the Hunchback has moved closer. The Warhammer has gotten up and moved closer as well. My Firestarter is not looking good. He's lost one arm, definitely. Lost quite a bit of a leg. I think this is not a bad idea nonetheless. We're going to reposition the Firestarter. And we're going to put the Cataphract right here. And then when it comes time for the Thunderbolt, he's just going to sit tight. He's not going to move. Where did the Phoenix Hawk went to my flank? We're going to ignore the Phoenix Hawk for now. My priority is to take down that Warhammer. Alright. Medium laser. We can do the flamer. What else? I know we got machine guns. Another flamer. Yeah, let's see if we can't cook this guy a little bit. That Firestarter's just about out of the fight anyway. Alright, PPC. Didn't even look to see what my target was, or what the hit roll was. Let's see. PPC needing a 2 automatic hit. AC-10 needing a 3 for 3 over on our heat. I don't want to get much higher. We'll leave it at that and let the Thunderbolt go do some crit seeking with the large laser, 2 mediums, 220, SRM2, and both machine guns. And hopefully, this time, get some good juicy crit hits. Alright, Hunchback firing on the Thunderbolt. Nothing significant. Warhammer firing on the Cataphract. The PPC hits. Right torso, right arm, and left torso taking hits. Otherwise, it's fine. Phoenix Hawk firing on the Cataphract as well. Left arm, right torso. Firestarter gets some hits on the left torso rear, the left arm, and the center torso rear, and the right leg, but nothing juicy. Warhammer hits center torso, 8 armor remaining, and then 10 points of damage to the right arm, 7 armor remaining. Thunderbolt, with all of its crit-seeking capability there, doesn't do a whole lot. Everything hits, just doesn't penetrate much. The Warhammer is now up to moderate damage, though, with the internal structure damage on the left torso. Cataphract is standing. Warhammer falls over again. Seatbelt check complete and successful for the pilot, Neil. This is not good for the Warhammer, because now he's got 2 mechs going to stomp on his face. Warhammer now losing critical slots, going up to heavy damage. Let's see. A foot actuator and a heat sink, both taken out of the Warhammer. Let's see. Phoenix Hawk did kick the Cataphract, no biggie. Oh, I didn't look at the heat hard enough. Going now into round 4, 88 to 78, a 10-point lead for the Spirits. And we are looking at the Warhammer going first and their Phoenix Hawk going last. Let's see what happens here. Alright, my Firestarter is going to... probably should do something smart. jump way away. So that's what we're going to do. Not going to jump there, though. We'll jump here. Thunderbolt is going to stay stationary. Cataphract. Going to move there. Know that Phoenix Hawk can jump, but I want to get to a point where... Yep, there he goes. Let's see, where did he go? That's fine. Firestarter is not really in much of a position to do a lot. Just going to let him sit tight for a minute. Thunderbolt is going to continue hammering on the Warhammer. There may or may not have been a pun intended there. We do have to be careful with our heat. So we're just going to use a couple of lasers and the 2 machine guns. Cataphract. I want to take a shot at Phoenix Hawk. He's kind of irritating. But we need to stay focused. We need to stay focused. PPC needing a 3. AC 10 needing a 4. That's all we're going to do there. We're overheat. Let's see what we're looking at here. It looks like we got some critical slots being taken out of the Cataphract. Warhammer pops off a PPC and hits. Medium laser hits. Rerolled edge. No edge remaining on the Cataphract. Cataphract losing internal structure. Hunchback firing on the Cataphract as well. Phoenix Hawk on the Cataphract. This guy actually gets something, though. He takes out a medium laser, rear-mounted, in the Cataphract, and that takes the Cataphract up to heavy damage. Thunderbolt firing on the Warhammer. Warhammer losing more internals. Cataphract taking out a whole left arm. And down to 10 internal structure on the center torso. Warhammer remains standing. The Warhammer is in bad position, and he's about to take a kick from this Thunderbolt. 2 internal structure remaining on the left leg of the Warhammer. Heat is at 8 for the Phoenix Hawk and the Warhammer. Meanwhile, the Cataphract, Thunderbolt, and Firestarter are all fine. Looks like the initiative order is mostly in my favor, with the Cataphract moving last, Warhammer moving first, and the Warhammer has withdrawn. Thunderbolt will score a kill credit for that. That is ye. We are now going to ignore the Warhammer. It is withdrawing as best it can. That leaves us the Hunchback and the Phoenix Hawk. I'm going to bring my Firestarter down. I want to bait the Phoenix Hawk in. Let's see. I don't know if that's actually really feasible, though. Get a PSR for that, but I only need a 3. Moving backwards, down elevation. Phoenix Hawk has taken the back of the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt's actually in pretty decent shape, so that's not that big of a deal. I think I'm going to move right there to put all my weapon systems on the Cataphract in short range. Except for any machine guns that I don't think is actually on it. And now we're going to pummel Phoenix Hawk with the 2 mechs here. The Firestarter first. Medium laser. Not much else can hit, so that's fine. Thunderbolt is going to ignore the Phoenix Hawk and go after the Hunchback. Firing first the large laser. And I'm not even going to bother with the LRMs. It looks like we're better off shooting small stuff at it. So let me see. We can do 2. And we'll get a little toasty. A little bit toastier than I like, but we'll throw the SRM2s in there. And then we'll fire the machine guns needing 7s to hit. See how that Hunchback feels after this. Cataphract is now going to lay waste to that Phoenix Hawk. 3 to hit with a PPC. Damn it. 4 to hit with the AC 10. We are at heat. Throw a medium laser. 6, that's fine. Oh, let's see what happens here. Oh, Matichov takes a head hit. The pilot himself is injured. Let's roll back through this a little bit. Cataphract loses a medium laser. Cataphract's already at heavy damage. There's a head hit. No edge remaining for the Cataphract, so Matichov takes the automatic 1-point damage. stays awake. Phoenix Hawk fires at the Cataphract and hits with one of two medium lasers and nothing else. Firestarter hits the Phoenix Hawk. We already have the Phoenix Hawk at damage. Let's see. Hunchback gets some partial cover bonuses. The Hunchback is taking damage now. And then the Phoenix Hawk also taking damage. All mechs are still standing. And the Phoenix Hawk kicks the Thunderbolt. But the Thunderbolt is still standing as well. Moving now into round 5. Cataphract and Thunderbolt both sitting at 6 heat. Meanwhile, Hunchback and the Phoenix Hawk at 8 and 6. Excuse me. I do have the benefit of the initiative on this round. 79 to 63 for remaining battle value. Moving now into round 6. I need to move my Cataphract first, though. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just gonna leave the Cataphract right where he is. And the Phoenix Hawk is stuck. That's amazing. Okay. We're gonna close. I want to see what weapons do I have. They're all basically in his arms. Perfect. I think. You know what? No. Firestarter. Alright, so the Phoenix Hawk is currently stuck in the mud. That's funny to me. So the Cataphract is going to ignore the Phoenix Hawk for the moment. We're going to take on the Hunchback right here. Needing a 1 to hit with PPC. We're now at max heat. Well, not max, but capacity. And then a 2 to hit with a medium laser. Oh, I forgot to C10. Hold on. Firing the PPC, needing a 1. Firing the AC-10, needs a 2. That puts us at 3 over on our heat. We're going to hold that. Thunderbolt, firing now. Large laser, medium laser, skip a bunch, and then a couple of machine guns. And then the Firestarter will take on the Phoenix Hawk with its 1 medium laser, flamer, a couple of machine guns, another flamer, and I think that's all. Let's see what happens here. Oh dear, that's not a good look. Phoenix Hawk firing on the Cataphract. Get some good hits in, but no internals. Unfortunately, the Hunchback does hit the Cataphract with an AC-10 in the left torso, blowing it and the arm completely off the Hunchback. That is going to be problematic for the Cataphract, who has now lost quite a bit. Oh, we have a gyro hit on the Cataphract. That's going to cripple it, which means I'll probably have to surrender it. Cataphract fires back, hitting the Hunchback with the PPC and the AC-10. Both of them are automatically hits anyways. Noble, the pilot of the Hunchback, takes personal damage. Rolls a 12 to stay awake, though. Firestarter hits the Phoenix Hawk. Nothing big there. Cataphract is still standing after 2 PSRs. Hunchback falls over. Noble, on the other hand, does pass a seatbelt check. But the Hunchback is now going to get kicked. So is the Phoenix Hawk. Alright, Firestarter is kicked by the Phoenix Hawk. Loses internal structure. We already have it at heavy. Thunderbolt kicks. Firestarter kicks. All mechs are still standing. We got some big heat on the Hunchback, however. 12 heat. Everybody else is more or less manageable. 61 to 57 now going into round 7. I have the initiative in my favor with my Thunderbolt going 3rd and my Firestarter and Cataphract last. Of course, their Warhammer is withdrawing. The unfortunate part is my Thunderbolt doesn't really have doesn't have much in the way of options to move. Warhammer is withdrawing. Firestarter is going to come over here and get in behind the Phoenix Hawk. Cataphract is in a bad spot. We have a gyro hit. We don't have much in the way of armor. I think the best thing for him to do right now is to back off as best he can. Alright, Thunderbolt, let's see what you got. Lost the PPC, lost the AC-10. All I have on that Warhammer is, or excuse me, Cataphract is a single medium laser. That's not going to be very helpful. Oh, there goes an engine hit on the Cataphract and a lost leg. I'm going to have to withdraw that Cataphract. Looks like the Hunchback is going to get the kill for it. Thunderbolt hitting the Hunchback, not getting a lot out of it. Let's see. Firestarter, on the other hand, managed to get some hits on that Phoenix Hawk, ripping out some critical slots in the leg. And down goes the Cataphract. Another hit to the engine. Manischov takes another hit. Needs a 5 to stay conscious. Let's see. Who was the last one to hit the Cataphract? Pretty sure it was actually the Phoenix Hawk who got that engine. Alright, so the Phoenix Hawk will be awarded kill credit. That is Sevik killing the CTX. I'm going to have to surrender that mech round. Alright, Thunderbolt kicking the Hunchback. Firestarter kicking the Phoenix Hawk. Hunchback loses its leg. Blown right off from that kick. Hunchback is now crippled. Let's see. Hunchback falls over. The pilot takes another point. 2 total hits. That's Noble with 2 hits. Noble blacks out. Phoenix Hawk must make PSRs. Falls over. Sevik takes a hit as he goes down. Got some high heat on the opposition side. The Spirits remaining more or less cool. Moving now into the 8th round. 56 to 42, but that's going to change quite a bit once I dump that mech. I don't have good initiative on this round, but we'll have to endure. Alright, Firestarter is going to stand fast. The Cataphract is ejecting to give the Phoenix Hawk that kill credit. And then Thunderbolt is going to stand fast. He's not going to engage the Hunchback. He will be focusing on the Phoenix Hawk, though. So, time to utterly annihilate a Phoenix Hawk. Needing 3s and 5s to hit, by the way. Alright, Phoenix Hawk firing on the Thunderbolt and gets a hit. Firestarter gets some more criticals pulled out of the Phoenix Hawk. I do have the Phoenix Hawk at heavy damage. Jump jets, slower arm actuator, and then here comes the Thunderbolt, ripping off the other leg, or a leg. I don't remember if it lost the whole another leg or not. A hip actuator, a jump jet, a right torso. That mech is pretty much done for. Firestarter going to get a kick in. Auto success. Thunderbolt is not going to engage the Hunchback because their pilot is down. Let's see. 12 internal structure remaining on the center torso for the Phoenix Hawk. Pilot stays unconscious on the Hunchback. 48 to 34 for initiative. Warhammer is withdrawing. Warhammer is withdrawing. Thunderbolt is going to remain. It looks like the Phoenix Hawk has not surrendered yet, but it may be because of initiative order. Phoenix Hawk is immobile and abandoning unit. The Phoenix Hawk is out. And that kill credit will go to the Firestarter Gabagot. And that might very well be gain here once this round is completed. We're not going to fire. We're not going to fire. That mech is asleep. And it looks like we get the victory. 88% of the battle value destroyed when that mech surrendered. Alright. Oh, I didn't mean to actually click save. Alright, so let's start doing some paperwork here, my friends. First off, the Spirits win 3 victory points right off the bat for winning, giving the opposition only 1. They receive 3 points for killing a heavy, and 2 points for killing the Phoenix Hawk, for a total of 8 points. The opposition did kill a heavy, so that will give them 3 points, for a total of 4. With a final score of 8-4, Sian Spirits win the match. Let's see. Fans, we need to do some fan rolls here. So let me get my rules up. That's sponsorships. Fans on round page. Went too far. Fans. Alright, so first, the Spirits get a +1 for winning. They have a 1-loss streak prior to this match, so that is probably the only one. We did have a melee kill. Firestarter got a melee kill on the Phoenix Hawk. So that'll be a +2 for a +3 total. So 2d6 +3 for the Spirits roll here. 11 + 3 is 14. That's the maximum benefit. They are going to gain +4 fans on top of any sponsorships they have. Opposition. They are going to have a -1 for losing. They had a 1-win streak. Not anymore. They will get a +2 for the physical attack that killed their mech. So that will be a +1 total. Reviewing these rules, I believe that's all the possible modifiers. So 2d6 +1, 12. They will also gain some fans. That's amazing. That is crazy. Alright, now we add up the value points. 10 plus whatever they got for the winner for a total of 18 wealth. Plus sponsorships. 8 wealth for the opposition plus sponsorships. And now we do the draft. Let's go ahead and get my rules to that page. Alright, first up, Sian Spirits rolling 2d6 +1 for winning, no streaks, no postseason, no championship. Let's see, roll 2d6 +1. Oh, that's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt. I rolled another 12, which is fucking scary. Alright, Spirits, 2 pilots and 2 techs getting drafted. This is a bit unheard of. Let me get my windows set the way I want them here. Give me just a second here. Let's see things. And as much as I want you guys to see things, I don't have the room on my screen. So, Yi is first up. 1d6 copy. Yi is a tier 2, so on a 2 or less, Yi gets drafted. Yi is gone. And she did so well in this match. Alright. And then we have Matashov being drafted. No. Alright. Min drafted on a 1. No. Gabagot, no. New unnamed pilot drafted. I need to come up with a name. We're going to call this one Min Shu. I have no idea if that's a valid name or not, but that person just got drafted. Min Shu drafted. Okay, that's 2 pilots. We still got 2 techs to pull, as well as the 2. I'm going to roll the 2 replacements really quick. So our first replacement is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A regular pilot. Give me. Second, guys. Working through multiple screens. 4, 5, 2 edge. And I need some experience points. They will get 5 experience points starting off. Okay. And the other one, they are a green pilot. I said they were green, so 5, 6, 2, 1, and how many experience points do they get? Oh, damn it. My Control V wasn't working. 4 experience points. This is tax. Yeah. So 0. Alright, now moving to tax. My second monitor is small. That's why I had to pull it over, because I couldn't see the bottom of the screen. Still tier 1, tier 2. We have no tier 3s. Alright, so first up we have Mura. Are you drafted? You are not. C, are you drafted? You are not. Ning, are you drafted? You are not. Broera is not. Shun is not. And Rayburn is. Oh, I was almost going to make it through all the text. Murray Rayburn, one of the techs, gets drafted. Quick note. 2 pilots, 1 tech. Alright, now we got to do the opposition. Opposition gets a -1 for losing and no additional modifiers. And they roll a 4, -1 is 3. And that means nobody gets drafted from the opposition. That's good for me, because that means I don't have to update a bunch of shit. Alright. Next up, well, we did well. Expenses, maintenance. If you hear my cat meowing in the background, it's because my son has closed his door. Probably because he's changing after having completed his bath. My cat does not like it. Actually, let's go ahead and update general info. Spirits win this match, going from 2 and 5 to 3 wins, 5 losses. They are going to gain 8 victory points, which will put them at 36 and 8 is 44 cumulative victory points. They gained 4 fans, putting them at 14 total. Gives them a 3 for the super secret scroll roll that I'm going to do now. All right. And let's update their finances tab. Match earnings, 18. Fan income, 12. Maintenance, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mechs with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 techs. That means they only have -3 in the maintenance block. Let's go over to the opposition's roster now. Update their stuff. They went from 3 wins and 4 losses to 3 wins and 5 losses. Gained 4 victory points for a total of 29 cumulative victory points. They did gain 4 fans, putting them at 11. Update their finances. They were paid 8 wealth for the match. Fan income of 11. Maintenance. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 mechs and at least 4 techs. So that's actually going to only be -1. The other 3 will have to get repaired. Speaking of repairs, actually no. First up is salaries. So it's 2 for all your greens and regulars, plus 1 for each additional. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Be -8 for their finances. Or excuse me, salaries. For the spirits. 2 for all the greens and regulars. 3, 4, and 5. -5 in their salaries. Alright, what do we got next? After salaries, now we got to do a little bit of math. I got to add up the repair costs and medical costs. And then we'll start making some repair rolls and update for experience points. All right, starting with the spirits, we have a crippled heavy mech. That is going to be 8 to repair it. We have a... Somehow that Thunderbolt did not take any damage throughout any of that fight. I don't feel like that's correct, but I don't have it marked down. So we'll just give it 1 to cover the bases. And then we have a heavily damaged fire starter, which is a light mech. 3, 8 plus 4 is 12, minus 12 for repairs. One pilot took 2 hits. That's going to be minus 3 for medical. They are going to be out with 2 hits for 4 days. No sponsors to cover any of that. That's okay. It means that particular pilot will return next week. Let's update the spirit stuff. Finances. Repairs, minus 12. Minus 3 for medical. Sponsorship, plus 3 on a win. And they have no other modifiers, so they've pulled some decent profit this week. It's good for them. Let's take a look at the opposition now. Starting with a Warhammer that is heavily damaged. That's a heavy mech. Heavy, so that's going to be 6 to repair. Hunchback, medium mech crippled is also 6, and a Phoenix Hawk that was heavily damaged is going to be a 4, for a total of 12 plus 4 is minus 16 for repairs. One pilot with 2 hits is going to be minus 3. One pilot with 1 hit is 1, for a total of minus 4 for medical. That might not be a good situation for the opposition here, financially speaking. But let's see how these numbers crunch out. Oh, I think we minus 16 for repairs, minus 4 for medical. No additional money's added. And the opposition has a shit week when it comes to the balances, the budgets. That takes us now into making our repair rolls, which unfortunately you guys can't see them, so you're going to have to take my word for it, but that's okay. You don't have to believe me. Alright, for the Cataphract to get repaired, it's going to be a 4 plus, 3 attempts total, and it is repaired on the first attempt. Thunderbolt is repaired, as is the Cataphract. Firestarter also needs a 4 with 3 attempts total. Nailed it. For the Warhammer, needs a 4 plus, 5 attempts. 1, 2, got it. For the Hunchback, needs a 4 plus, 3 attempts. 1, got it. And for the Phoenix Hawk, needs a 4 plus, 3 attempts. Got it. Alright, all mechs repaired, all bills paid. Now we get to update experience points for the individual pilots. So, starting with the Spirits. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Stitch! Alright. Sian Spirits. Matashov earns 2 points for the match, taking him up to 14. Yi defected to another faction or something, doesn't get any experience points, they're not on the roster anymore. Gabagat gains 3 points, taking her up to 15. And then we have the techs. The assigned techs were Mira, who gains 2 points, up to 14. C gains 2 points, up to 7. And Shun grabs 2 points, up to 6. That takes care of the Spirits. Next, we have the opposition. Fortunately, the numbers won't be as favorable. Neil gaining 1 point, up to 14. Noble gaining 1 point, up to 17. And Sevik, who gained a kill, now goes to 9 points. For the techs, Umura gaining 1 point, up to 16. Holy cow, my cat will not stop meowing. Papin gains 1 point, up to 18. And Glass gains a point, up to 12. That will do it for there. Alright. Alright, my friends, stick around for part 2, which will be starting in just a few minutes. I need to switch the board over, as it were, for the next match, and we're going to take a brief respite. and then we'll get back into it. So stick around. We'll be back in a few minutes. If you're watching this on YouTube, of course, it may be slightly longer than that. Just go to the next video or something.